Hey guys, it's Jeff. I'm back. I recorded a video 2 days ago on the new moon eclipse. I got it right this time. It was in Aries. If you want to flip back to that video, I just go over some tips about how to write your intentions. It's the second one I did. It's a really easy 15-minute practice that helped me along my spiritual journey and what I'm being led to do. What I'm being guided to do by the divine is simply to share things that have helped me through my personal journey. So intentions are one of them. Again, it's a 15-minute practice every 28 days. You can set a timer to it, but nonetheless, it's very valuable. And what you find, if you go back through the details, you end up writing your own story. Okay, so understand that we all have the right we all own our own stories. We should all be the main characters of our own story. We should never hand our paintbrush over to somebody else when we're painting our own portraits. So it's kind of like it goes along with that theme. So, writing your intentions really helps you get a hold on where you are at any given time. The reason why I do it every 28 days is it not only tells your story, but it shows you how much you change over such a short period of time, right? Because 4 weeks really isn't all that long. So I find it to be very valuable to see how much growth I've gone through. And before I write my next month's intentions for the next new moon, I go back and I read what I had previously written. And it's amazing how much I've either accomplished already, or how much progress I've made on certain things. And in other cases, for the small majority of the things that I write, it brings to my attention that they're not truly priorities, right? And as I said in the last video, when I write my intentions, I just pick 5 major categories that are most important to me, maybe family, career, money, fitness, and who knows what else you can pick. I suggest anybody pick from 3 to 7, just to keep it simple. And again, it's not supposed to be a taxing exercise, but it's supposed to realign you with what's truly important to you at that moment in time. And again, you're going to see those categories shift each month. So what was at number 1 month might be at number 5 the next month. You might meet somebody new and start a new relationship. So that relationship all of a sudden jumps to the top of your list of priorities, right? Because you're in love. And then the next month, maybe something happens and you realize like maybe they're not the person for you, and maybe they're not the person you thought they were, and maybe relationships fall completely off. But that's why it's important. It's important for us to understand how dynamic of human beings we truly are, and how much our goals and our intentions truly are tied together, right? Because people like to make these long-term lofty goals, not realizing that an event in 1 month can change the entire trajectory of our lives. And that could be a death, it could be a divorce, it could be a layoff, it could be anything. It could literally just be an interaction with a grandparent, right? Where it literally changes your whole perspective on your family altogether. And maybe your family's not who you thought they were, and it changes your priorities. Maybe you prioritize something else over your family because you have to, for your greatest good. So write your intentions, go back to that video, and even if you haven't done it for the new moon in Aries, do it now. It's never too late. Every new moon, the reason why I do it in a new moon, every new moon is supposed to be a fresh start, and it is a fresh start. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. Your intentions moving forward don't have to reflect your intentions from the past. and or your actions from the past. And if you've never written intentions before, it doesn't have to reflect your actions from the past. You always have the opportunity to start new. So I was guided to do a video tonight, and it may sound kind of stupid, but this is something. No, it doesn't sound kind of stupid. This is part of my journey, okay? So I was initially made aware of my connection to the divine back in 2018. And it was a very personal experience, and I was told that I was a healer, and I was shown, actually physically shown, that I was not alone. And what I was shown was that I was standing on the edge of like this cliff, and it wasn't scary. It was like there was wind coming at me, and it just felt like this precipice of like change coming. And I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? And I'm clairaudient too, and I could hear, it felt like I was attached to a switchboard, okay? And it sounded like a network of people who were similar to me, who were called by the divine to do good, right? And it literally sounded like a switchboard, and I heard bits and pieces of different conversations, but there were so many going on, I really couldn't tell what was going on. But I could tell that there were people like saving people. I could tell that there was urgency going on. I could tell there was people doing good things. There was calm conversations going on about, raising money, and it was just a bunch of people doing a lot of good things. And I could tell that I was being connected to a network of similar minded people who had gotten the call from the divine, and it was beautiful. And he illuminated my right hand, and to tell me I was a healer. And now I know, and this is in 2018, I didn't know what it meant for a long time, and it didn't start to become clear to me until August of 2022. So not even long ago, 6 months ago. So I started to understand what being a healer meant. Okay, so I have the ability, I'm anointed to heal with my hands, with my voice, with my words, and even with my presence. I have the ability to put people at ease. I've heard people tell me that I feel like home. I'm very comforting, and I am. I like to feed people. I like to make sure they're comfortable. I like to put people first. And there's a lot of good things that come with that, right? That's a beautiful thing, right? But at the same time, I was neglecting myself. So in that, I wasn't doing well. I wasn't. So that's when, as I said, I was writing my intentions. I've been writing them since September of 2020. And what I wrote in my intentions last summer, right before shit hit the fan, right? Because I got what I asked for. What I asked for was to be the best version of myself possible. Okay, so the divine heard me, the universe heard me, and they said, okay, that's what you want. That's what you're gonna get. So slowly but surely, it started to happen. So I don't want to say, I don't want to say this to scare you, because we're all on different paths, and I needed a lot of work. I did. I was a kind person. That doesn't mean I was spiritually sound. It didn't mean that I loved myself either, and that was my biggest obstacle. And that's what the divine primarily had me work on. So I gotta adjust my hat. It's giving me a headache. That's what the divine had me work on primarily. Was loving myself. And when I was first told that I didn't love myself, it made me angry, because I'm like, I love myself. Of course I love myself. I didn't at all. I actually put myself last in every situation. And I actually pulled a few cards to meditate on before this, and I pulled the 10 of Wands, and that was really just to be part of the story. as selfless as I was, all I was doing by being over accommodating to all the people in my life, like when somebody had a problem, I just wanted to help them. I wanted to help them find the resources. I wanted to, if they couldn't pick their kids up from school, I was going to do it. If somebody was hungry, I was going to cook for them. I always went out of my way, but I never went out of my way for myself. Like basic things, like even taking care of just like my physical health. I was, and I've overcome addictions. And I've been overcoming addictions my whole life, and I am proudly sober since December 5th. That's the last time I had a drink, and it was just one beer, but still, that's the last time I had alcohol. It had been months before that, before I drank, but nonetheless, that's been my struggle, right? But let me tell you, God pulled me out of that. God saved me from that. And I now live without any cravings. Now that's really hard to believe because my life is not steady. It's not. I don't have an apartment. I don't have a partner. I have been separated from family and friends who I have absolutely no contact with. And all that's done by grand design, by divine design. And it's because the awakening process and the growth process, a lot of the times, depending on how severe, I don't want to say severe, how much work you truly need to do on yourself, you need to be separated. And in my case, I needed to learn self-love. And one thing you can't learn around other people, especially the people who have always been in your life, right? You cannot heal, you can't heal that, and you cannot develop self-love truly if you're surrounded by people. So I was removed, period. I'm still removed, okay? And, there's days where I'm really discouraged, and I'm like, well, when are you gonna allow me back into the sphere of people? When am I gonna get to socialize again? Because, we're all social beings, we're human beings. And it's not to say I don't see people on a day-to-day basis, but I haven't developed any really close bonds, and I've lost all my close bonds, and I've been flat out told it's because I'm not ready. What the divine has been doing for me personally is developing my discernment, right? To be able to, he's developed me so well. I can see people's intentions, see them, without knowing them, without talking to them. Once they talk, I certainly can see their intentions. But I was so gullible before. I was so kind. I was a people pleaser. I wanted people to, I am a kind soul, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I've always been close to the divine. I've always been like this. And the divine, although he truly does appreciate that, right, in me, and he always has, he also knew that it was my downfall, because everybody around me was taking advantage of it. Everybody was handing me and if you follow tarot, and I do tarot as well, if you follow tarot, the 10 of Wands literally is the most burdens that you can carry. And what he told me when I meditated on that card is, he's like, every one of those wands was handed to you, and you gladly took it. But then when it got too heavy, you turned to me. You asked me to help you, but you picked up all the wands. So I'm going to help you, but you have to put it on. You have to put on all your fucking wands. Now, I didn't know what that meant, but that meant leaving everything behind. That meant leaving my apartment behind with 90% of my stuff in it, which I was very attached to. I'm one of those people who's attached to like my antiques. And I'm one of those people who has everything. Like if you needed something, I had it. Paper, extra ink, staples, extra bulbs and tape. I mean, double-sided Velcro. I was just one of those crazy people who had everything, and I prided myself on that because it allowed me to help people. Like, you know, anybody. I didn't even have to know them. I'm like, I have that. I've got that for you. I'll get it for you. And if I don't have it for you, I'll look for it for you, and I'll find it. And I always did. And I was always spending so much time on everybody but myself. So he said, I'll help you, but you got to put those fucking wands down. And I didn't know what it meant, but I knew it was necessary. And when he made me put those wands down, I was left with nothing. And he actually made me leave not made me, he encouraged me to leave my apartment, leave the state that I had always known. He actually, okay, so this is weird too. I had, and this is no digs on Google phones, but I had a Pixel and I had Google accounts, and the motherboard died on my brand new phone, right? And therefore I lost access to my two Google accounts, which had all my contacts in it. So in an instant, all of my phone contacts were gone, okay? All my email, I couldn't even get into my emails. The email addresses that I'd had for years, and I've had that phone since 1998, and I have never lost a number. So from 1998 till literally 2022, I lost everything, all my emails, all my contact numbers. You hear it raining? Yeah. That's the divine telling me to tell my story. I lost everything in an instant, okay? So I was then guided to, when I left my apartment, I got channeled messages saying, leave it all behind, because I was trying to make plans to put it in storage. And so I compromised, and there was just a few things that I really couldn't let go of, and those few things I did put in storage. Just very, very sentimental things to me. And even now, looking back on it, I don't think I'll even keep those things. But that's besides the point. I chose to leave everything in my apartment behind for somebody else who needed it more than I did. And I just walked away from it, leaving me with just really the bare minimum, and just having to trust in the divine. And he literally placed me somewhere far, far away. And he made me do some self-reflection. He made me really angry when it first started, because he told me I didn't love myself, and I didn't know what that meant, and I didn't know how to fix that. But he taught me what he meant by that over the course of 5 weeks, okay? And he was right. I didn't love myself. I didn't think I deserved anything. And even something as simple as doing this video for you, I didn't even like to take pictures, never mind record myself on video, look at myself on video, hear myself on video. And then I didn't think I had anything worth saying, but now I know better. So I shared a video on, writing intentions. Ooh, it's really pouring now. But I'm trying to speak over it, but I did a video on writing intentions and how important that was to my personal spiritual development and growth. And I highly encourage you to do it. It was for the new moon in Aries. It's a very simple 15-minute process. Please check it out. And really what the divine has asked me to do with these videos is, when I wrote my intentions and I meditated on it, the message to me was, and what I needed to focus on was simple: obedience. And I didn't know exactly what that meant, but I went through the exercise of writing my intentions, and I soon figured out what that meant, okay? So, we're all very, very concerned about the material things here in this world, like money, status, and, fame, and all these meaningless things, right? Because really all that matters at the end of the day is love, and that's self-love, that's love for others, that's respect for others, that's support for others. It's the simple things in life. It truly is. It's not these other things that we all have given value to. It's not that at all. So he needed to remind me of that. But he removed me out of my environment knowing that I would never be able to learn self-love carrying my 10 wands that others had handed to me and would continue to hand to me, as I completed one wand or got through, taking care of one wand, I'd put it down and somebody else would hand me another one. So I was always carrying other people's burdens, but I offered to do it. It was my fault. And I have a caring heart. And so in my mind, I was like, well, I'm doing the right thing. I'm being a good person. And what the divine reminded me of is I can't take care of anybody unless I can take care of myself. And the fact of the matter is I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't. I didn't love myself, and I didn't even know it. I didn't even have time to recognize it. Long story short, he pulled me out of my environment. He put me in a completely different one, and I found my faith, okay? And what I value most, first and foremost, in this world, in my world today, even given that, my circumstances aren't ideal around me, I have faith. I know that everything's going to work out because I do have faith. And he told me everything is going to work out, okay? So I'm not in the clear yet, and I don't want you to think I am. I'm in a car for a reason, right? And that's okay. I'm not complaining about it. I make the best out of everything. That's what I do. That is what I do. I am an alchemist. I turn bad situations into good ones. But the only difference is, instead of doing it for everybody else, I do it for myself. That's the difference. So, besides, writing the intentions, I truly do encourage you to check out, again, just 15-minute exercise, and if you do it every 28 days, it's going to work wonders for you. It's going to open doors for you. It's going to let you see that you're writing your own story. It's like somebody handing you the paintbrush back to paint your own picture, okay? So that's what I'm doing. I'm handing you your paintbrush back or your pen back so you can write your own story, because you are the main character in your story, okay? We all have things to do here. We all have purposes. We all have divine purposes. We all have things that we need to do, but we can only do that if we love ourselves. The reason why that's the case, and that sounds very self-centered, right? You can't do anything unless you love yourself. No. That's not how it works. Our connection with the divine is very simple. The divine created us, okay? As we are, as we sit here, he has created us. We are his children, okay? So if we don't love ourselves, that means we're rejecting the very thing that he made. That's an insult. The divine wants to see all of his children happy and thrive. Unfortunately, no, it's not unfortunate. This is by divine design too. We all have free will. And how we use that free will determines how our life plays out, right? And how karma plays out, how dharma plays out, right? And the divine sees all. But I had a lot of work to do, and he worked through me. He did. He truly did. And at the end of the day, what comes with self-love is your gifts, which is your connection to the divine. And then through that connection to the divine, we all have our own unique skills and, again, divine purpose. My unique skills, my unique skill is unconditional love. It is. I see my skill is literally, I can look at anybody and I see the best in everyone. I see their best potential. But this is also in the past, before I went through this process, before I went through this process, I still saw the best in everybody, but I just blindly believed it. Even though they weren't there yet. I saw what they could be if, under ideal situations, if they took control of their life, if they addressed their shadows. That's what I saw. I saw something that wasn't quite there yet, that wasn't quite developed yet, but I wanted to see that in them. And as a result, I got taken advantage of. But at the same time, in all of that, I was not working on the best version of myself, period. So he brought me there. It started with intentions back in September of 2020. Did it every 28 days. It's been life-changing for me. But, just another tip. This is a quick tip for you. And some people talk about doing vision boards, whatever it might be, but this is something that I did. I would say my awakening started really the end of August of 2022. I did this in October of 2022, and I was kind of guided to do it. It was just a piece of cardboard that was, probably from an Amazon delivery, whatever it might be. But I literally got guided to write myself like some words of encouragement, and as I was doing it, I could actually feel the encouragement coming from the divine, and it was like a head tingling and a burp. So that's confirmation, right? But as I was writing, my head was tingling, and it encouraged me to keep going. But it was beautiful because it was literally just what I needed to hear at that time, right? Like, so this is back in October, and every day we become something different, right? We become better, mostly, right? We change very quickly over time, and we grow very quickly over time, and it's a beautiful thing. But anyway, I wanted to share, what I wrote on this is my vision board. Some people, they cut out pictures from magazines. It doesn't really matter as long as you have some kind of visual or something to refer to that sometimes can remind you of what path you need to be on, or how, maybe it'll remind you that you're off your path. I personally am a writer, which is why I write out my intentions. I'm a scribe, so like when I have thoughts or when I'm getting channeling, I write them down. That's just how I operate. We all have different gifts, and you're going to understand that when you start to awake. It's different for everybody. Everybody connects to the divine in their own unique way. That's it. It's not the same for everybody. So if you're looking to, if you see, I don't know if you watch other YouTube, I don't want to call them personalities, other YouTubers who are in tarot, or they're oracles, or they're prophets, or they're just motivational speakers. Understand that many of them, and I can't speak for all of them, but many of them are connected to the divine, and you'll notice that all of their gifts come through very, very differently. And there's a reason for that, and that's because we all speak to the divine in our own unique languages, because we all understand things differently. When you go to school, and some people are good at math, some people aren't. Some people are good at science, some people aren't. Some people like to speak in front of crowds, some people don't. And all of that's fine. It's because we're unique. We're supposed to be fucking unique. So why would we all have the same connection to the divine? We wouldn't, because we don't all have the same way of comprehending things, period. Mine happens to be through channeling and through meditation, and it grows every day. The more my faith grows, which it does every day, and it will for the rest of my life, that will continue to change. It continues to get stronger. It continues to get clearer. So if that's something that you're looking to do, just understand that that's how it works. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens through faith, and it happens through, and in faith, understand that we're challenged. There's a reason why we're challenged in our faith. It's because God wants to see if we're really going to stick by him through thick and thin, through hard times and good. because when things start to go bad, we start to forsake him or throw his name in the mud or blame him, anything. But also, when things get really good, when you get your blessings, let's say you get money and you get that success and you get the family that you always wanted, a lot of people forget about him then too. And he doesn't see either one as being better or worse, but he doesn't like to be forgotten, period. He's not here to punish us. We're literally his children. Okay, so imagine your parents, like not all of us had great parents, so it's maybe not the best. If we all had ideal parents, our parents want to know how we're doing. They want to know that we're doing well. Remember, the divine is perfect in all ways. So he wants to know how we're doing. He wants to know how we can help us. He wants to know how we're struggling. Even if we just need a yell session, okay? And you don't have a friend to talk to, or you don't feel like calling that friend, or you don't have a friend to call, have the yell session with God. Throw it out there. Get your emotion out. Let him know that you care enough to even talk to him. Like, for instance, I have evened out so much over the last 6 months, to the point where I don't even get angry anymore. I don't feel fear anymore. I don't feel anxiety. I am literally even keeled. But today, and I think it was part of this message, and it was, at the time, is 143. I take that as I love you. I, and then there's 4 letters in love, and then you is 3. So 143. So God is telling me that he loves me right now. And that's how I take it. But anyway, so I had a moment today while I was driving, and it's been a long journey for me, and I'm tired. I am. I'm exhausted. And it's not over yet. And I don't know where I'm going to end up. And I don't know, like the old me would be worried. I would literally have like lists of things I'd be worried about. Or I would have just given up and taken a drink, right? Because that's what you do when you're overwhelmed. Today, I just screamed at the top of my lungs. And I didn't scream words. I just screamed repeatedly, almost to the point where I lost my voice. It's back now because I had to give a message. But it was just in preparation for me recording a message for you guys, because that's, again, obedience is what I was asked to do. And as much as I don't think I'm worthy of giving you these messages, I am. I know I am. And I'm a healer. I heal through my voice, my hands, my presence, and this is my job. And all I want to do with you is, it's going to change over time. It's going to morph over time, just like I do. So I talked about intentions last time. There's 2 videos on that. If you want to check them out, I highly suggest it. Very, very helpful. I wish all of you healing, light, love, and happiness. I do. And I hope you all find your way there. And it's not easy, right? Like, change, nobody likes change. But everybody likes to develop and grow. Everybody wants to be better, right? So what I'll say to you is challenge yourself and make yourself better. So this is something I did early on. So if you're early on in your journey, or even if you're not and you haven't done this yet, give it a try. It can't hurt. I'm going to read you mine because it makes me feel vulnerable to do it, because it's kind of, I don't know, I'm not a very, first of all, I'm not very talkative, but I'm not very touchy-feely, open kind of about my feelings. I've never been good at it. I'm not even good at like physical like affection, like hugging people and things like that. I didn't grow up in a household where that was like a normal thing. So, and I was always kind of, as an alcoholic household, so I always kept my thoughts to myself. My thoughts were never really validated or even appreciated or heard. A lot of the times they just didn't want to take the time to listen to me. So, all of that's kind of stayed with me. And, you know, making this video is overcoming that. And that's it. I'm healing myself through sharing, and hopefully I'm healing you as well. So by giving, I receive, and understand that when you give, you receive. So this is just another like quick tip I want to give you. Like, when you go out into public and when you interact with people, and I know you've heard this before, you never know what people have been through. You don't know what they're experiencing. And be nice. Be nice. Just be kind, right? So there are some people out there, right, who are not willing to do the work for themselves, and they're just looking for a handout, or they're not ready to face the change that they need to make for themselves. And we need to be discerning and determining who those people are, right? It's like, so if they're asking for $1, that's different. But if they're asking for something a little bit, you know, if they're asking for more than that, and you know that it's something that they're not even willing to do for themselves, don't do it. Don't do it. But what I am saying is be kind. So those moments when, you know, I'm going to give you a few examples. You know, you see somebody caught on the side of the road, a lady who can't change her tire, or who may be stuck in the middle of the intersection because her car died. Help her. Help her. Even if you don't know her, you don't have to know her. You just have to know that her car is in the middle of the intersection, and you can help her, right? And it's a good deed. It's gonna give her some hope in mankind. It's gonna give her some hope in love. It's gonna make her feel special in a way, right? And you're gonna walk away from that experience saying like, yeah, I helped that lady. Yeah, like, yeah, like, that's awesome. Like, I feel good about myself for doing that. So understand that, you know, doing these good deeds, or if you see somebody, like, even at like a checkout lane, like an older person who just can't like scan their items, or if you're going through a process, like if you're another example. So I have an electric car. So if you're the first couple times I went, I could not figure out how to charge my fucking car, and nobody was helping me. Like, people who knew what they were doing, I was watching them do what they were doing, and that's how I figured it out. But nobody came over and helped me, right? And it would have been so much appreciated if somebody would have just taken like literally 30 seconds out of their day just to help me, right? And just show some compassion. Should I have asked? Yeah, but I'm shy. So everybody's different. Understand that some people will ask, some people won't. Some people take advantages, some people won't. But at the end of the day, use your discernment and be nice, and try to go out of your way for somebody. Even if you don't think you have the time, you have the time. One thing the divine is going to teach you, if you say repeatedly that you don't have the time, he's going to show you that you have the time, and you're not going to like it. Okay? So remember that too. Be generous with your time, because it's not about rushing around. It's about sharing unconditional love, and not judging people, and loving, and literally loving without fear of rejection. Because you can show love and you can share love and be rejected, and at the end of the day, you're the one who showed love. So no harm, no loss to you. And what happens is the person who received it and didn't return it, or didn't appreciate it, they're the ones who have the growth to work on. So just remember that. Be nice, be kind. You know, we can't always be like that, but you can always try, okay? So if you're in a bad mood and you run across a situation like that, that's when it's most important to do something like that, because it will bring you out of your shitty ass mood, okay? It will. To brighten somebody else's day. To take that moment out when you're super, super frustrated and just help somebody. Just help them. Be kind. make somebody's day, give somebody hope in mankind, and they are then going to go on and they're going to return the favor to somebody else. And it's literally like this, you know, you create an effect of love and kindness. I encourage that. So please, that's a piece of advice. But anyway, so this is my vision board, my written vision board. And I'm a healer, and I was just in the process of starting to figure that out. And I had just lost somebody that I loved. And I wasn't sure I wanted to, it took me 2 years to even get into that relationship. And I was in a place where I wasn't even sure I wanted to love again, to be quite honest. I wasn't sure I could open up to it again, because I've been through a lot of unsavory love relationships, right? As a lot of people have. I'm not special in that, but I was broken, and I'm 43. I didn't think I could be broken again at this age, and it's not like we were married or anything. We were just seeing each other. But I was broken, and I was in a really tough place. So I wrote this as kind of like some words of encouragement to myself, because I have to love myself first. I have to. If I don't show up for myself, who's going to show up for me? And if I don't show up for myself, I can't show up for anybody else. So if I thought I was, showing love to other people, I might have been showing kindness, but was I showing true love? Probably not, because I don't love myself. I didn't love myself. I am number one in my life now, and I take care of myself. I eat better now. I don't smoke. I go to the gym, and I do my best. And even though my life is not ideal, I go out into public every day, and I'm kind. I give compliments. I open doors. I help people. And hopefully I'm helping you now. And understand that whatever you give, you get back. And that can be in any form. That can be in a small act, and that can be in a large act. It could be in anything. But you never know. This is what you need to understand. You never know who that person is that you're helping. They may not look like they have money. They may not look like they have influence. They may not look important to you, but you don't know who they are. Keep that in mind. Do you ever hear that song? God, I wish I could remember the name of the song. I want to say it was like early 90s. And it was a song saying, you could be sitting next to God on a bus, and you could be a bum, right? You could be. God can do whatever the fuck he wants. God can incarnate as anything he wants. He could be a bum on a bus. And think about that for a second. What if that bum needed help and you just, it doesn't matter who that bum is. If it's God, it's an angel, if it's a demon, for God's sakes, if it's just a normal person, if it's just somebody who needs help. Rain's starting again, okay? Message coming through, okay? Listen to that. Treat everybody that you encounter the same level of respect as you want to be treated with. Now, if you were in that circumstance, if you were that bum, how would you want to be treated? Answer that question. Would you want people to overlook you? Would you want people to help you? Would you want people to have sympathy for you? Yes. So please, take that as part of my message. Anyway, what I wrote to myself, and this is just a reminder, so when I woke up in the morning, it was the first thing I saw. I wrote, if you want to fight for love, then fight. Don't go back on that. Just know it will happen and believe. Believe in love. You are love. You will have love. And don't be hard on yourself. If you want to be a healer, feel it, know it, and say you want it. And this is before I even knew what being a healer was. Okay, I understand now. And I did feel it. And I did know it. And I did want it. And I do want it. And I embrace it. But anyway. If you want to spread the word through your blessing given to you, own it, use it, and make the most of it. And I have all of that adding up to fulfillment, love, and spreading the needed information. Make it happen. Bring it together. This is your gift. You can see it. Walk in your power. Be love. Be all that is good to come. Show people what is possible with unconditional love, with boundless possibilities. Love yourself. Appreciate yourself. Be the change you want to see in the world. And I thanked the Most High, I thanked my ancestors, and I thanked my angels. And at the bottom I wrote, don't smoke, which I repeatedly quit smoking, throughout the past 6 months. But I'm proud to say, as of right now, I have not had a cigarette in 3 days. And I can prove it. I got my patch on. Not that that proves I'm not smoking, but I don't have any cigarettes to smoke, so that proves it. And actually, I doubled up. So, whatever you gotta do. I'm not smoking. And I actually feel much better for it. But that's part of self-love, right? And it's, that was something that the divine actually pulled out of my life. He didn't really give me a choice. He didn't want me smoking, whatever. And nicotine is the most addictive drug that's known to man. In case you weren't in case you were wondering, over heroin, believe it or not. But anyway, so just if you're a smoker and you're having trouble doing it, first of all, do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. The divine prompted me to do it, but if you want to smoke, nothing stops you. We all know that. So I had to do it for myself. I also wrote, never settle, see with your heart, be creative, shine, travel, enjoy, laugh, smile, be fascinated with all life has to offer. And that's all true. We all have so much influence over the course of our lives based on the choices that we make. And it's imperative that you love yourself. And there's something that the divine wants me to say, and I don't know what it is. Hold on. Give me 1 minute. I think it's the cards he wants me to pull out. Just gonna pull out the cards, and I'm just gonna shuffle, see what comes out. What I'm saying is the truth. It's Ace of Swords. That's the divine. That's the sword of truth. Okay? Divine's telling you, I'm telling you the truth. And this message comes from my heart. It does. I hope it brings you some healing and some insight. Page of Pentacles. So this is things coming to fruition here on the 3D, here in our 3D world, and the way that the divine is showing me this, as you know, tarot cards can have a multitude of meanings, but this is essentially me giving you my gift of knowledge to help you along your path. That's exactly what it means. So I'm telling you the truth, and it will help you. It will help you. Okay? I hope you come back for more. And before I forget, because I always forget to do it, I do accept donations if you're so inclined, if you have the money to do it. I understand I'm in a position right now where I can't donate to readers, but I do give them, I subscribe, I like, I share, you know, I do what I can do. So I encourage you to do the same, at least. If you can't donate, that's fine. I get it. If you can, donate what you can. I do personal tarot readings. You'll see my email address in my channel description. Feel free to write me if you want a personal reading, or if you just need, honestly, if you just need somebody to talk to. I don't have set prices for things. I'm going to take things on a case-by-case basis. Some people can afford it, some people can't. You know, I'm going to use discretion when I talk to people. You know, I'm going to help everybody, no matter what the situation. So please, if you need help, if you need somebody to talk to, if you're in a bad place and you just need somebody, email me and let's talk. If you want like ongoing coaching, we can do that too, and we can figure something out based on your personal situation. I'm not here for the money. I'm here to help. Okay? Please know that. I really am here with unconditional love and understanding. That's who I am. Okay? All right, Divine, you got anything else? For these beautiful people, for your beautiful children. I'm not going to take that one. I'm going to take these. Okay. I take this Hierophant card. Okay. This also can mean a lot of things. If you're a tarot card reader, you know that. But in this case, based on the last two cards I pulled, okay, I'm telling the truth. It's my gift to you. And that's God confirming it. It's the Knight of Cups. And in this case, I just completely threw that card in the most difficult spot to grab it too. Okay, but I got it. Knight of Cups. That's from the divine. That's a cup of love, okay? He's using me as his vessel, okay? I am the vessel delivering the message. Oh, and that's upside down, but it doesn't matter. But, you know, again, I do personal readings. Please email me if you just need somebody to talk to, if you're in a tough time. I understand how it is to be alone. I understand how it is to be confused. I understand how it is not to have anybody to talk to. So if that's something that you need, please don't hesitate to reach out. And it's as simple as that. If you can donate, donate. If you can't, you can't. But that's really all I wanted to say. I was being guided to do a message tonight, and I actually did another one before this that was over an hour long, and now I'm at 54 minutes. So I spent the last 2 hours doing this. The first message, it wasn't what I wanted. It didn't feel right. If it doesn't feel right to me, I don't put it out. My message didn't feel clear, it didn't feel true, so I just deleted it. I'd rather just waste an hour of my time than to put something out that's of no use to you. So just understand that I'm here to provide you some healing, some light, some love. You know, I almost call, you know, my channel's called New Levels, New Devils, and that's just because that's the damn truth. But, you know, I want to call my segment like "Come Fill Your Cup of Love," because that's all I want to do. I just want to remind you that you are loved, and that you're worthy of love, and that love comes from you first. So always know that. And if you want to reach me, you know how to reach me. If you want to donate, you know how to do that. Either way, it's 2:07 a.m. on Sunday, April 23rd. And with that, I should probably get some sleep. But I will be back with another message tomorrow. I want to talk a little bit about my personal journey of awakening, just to, I think people judge me a lot based on my appearance. Like, I've got my shit together. I'm a white boy, everything's good, right? It's not like that. I want to share my story so you can understand that it's not easy for anybody, but there's a lot of valuable information in my personal journey, and more importantly, there's a lot of important information on how I was able to connect with the divine through my journey. And that's the connection, your connection to the divine, your personal connection to the divine, as well as mine. Like, it's just as important. That is what I'm here to remind you of. So take me to church is like kind of like a theme. Like, take me to church, what's missing, and like if you take the you out of church, what's missing in church? You are. And you are the church, and that's what you need to know. And I don't knock anybody who goes to church. I think it's great. I think any kind of social gathering that comes together for the greater good is wonderful. But what you don't need church to have a personal connection with God. You go to church with your personal connection to God. That's what you do. You bring it to church, and it enhances your experience. And hopefully that's what everybody who goes to church does. They bring their own personal connection to God, because that is what brings the creativity, that's what brings the care, the love, the generosity, the donations. That's what makes the church a church, is everybody's personal connection to the divine. I just want to remind you that you do have that capability, and I'm going to try to give you the steps to do that. But anyway, I'm at 57 minutes. It's way longer than I meant to, but I really hope that you stuck in here with me. You may not know me, I may not know you, but it doesn't really matter, because I love you. You don't have to accept it, but I do want to see you grow, and I wish you light and love, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.